Welcome back and thank you for joining us again. I still have the APC chairman in Cross River State, Mr. Alphonsus Eba. All right, let's go ahead with our discussion. You say PDP is forgone and that your party will win Woto. But then, how do you intend to dislodge the PDP?
To say that PDP still exists in Cross River State is to allude to what I call a phantasmagoria. They exist in the past. They do not exist in the present. And they will never be in the future. And I said this by letting you know that we went for a by-election. In that by-election in Ogojayala, we won. In Akpabio State constituency, the court clearly stated that we had 1,700 and something votes which were not counted. And at the 500 margin, which they declared them ahead of us, if counted, would have amounted to APC's victory. But not to bother yourself. February 25th is not far from now. March 11th is not far from now. I'm a very patient human being. Call me on the 26th. In fact, I will be your first guest on the 26th after the 25th election. And I will tell you that I told you this on the 22nd day of December. I am not a clairvoyant. I am not a Nostradamus. But we have overworked, we have overprepared. Do you know what they call those people? Jigeripokeras. They don't exist in Cross River State. There is a zoning arrangement in Cross River State that we have been used to. Power started from the southern part of the state under His Excellency Governor Donald Duke. It went to the central by H.E. Lee Elimoke. Now in the northern part of the state by H.E. the SSCON. It is only just, fair, and equitable for that power to return to the southern part of Cross River State. The PDP wanted to put an ethnic jingoistic battle that would have led to the annihilation and conflagration of Cross River State. But the APC, thanks to the leadership of Governor Ben Ayade, he gave a direction. He gave a direction that we must follow the path to south. And today, we do not just have a candidate, we have a political candelabrum in person of Senator Prince Basi Edetutu, a man who was in the House of Reps. He distinguished himself. He gave exemplary and provided exceptional leadership. He bought 400 vehicles and shared in a single day. He bought over 100 plots of land, gave 500,000 to each beneficiary, paid CO for them to build houses. That is the material we have for governorship. And everybody in Cross River State is saying, Papa Oyoyo. That is what I am talking about. It's not some comedians that are Port Harcourt neighborhood rascals coming to change the equation. Cross River State have rejected them.
All right.
We use the ballot to send them to their political goal.
Mr. Alphonsus, you know, the opposition still boasts of very powerful politicians, the likes of Donald Duke, Jarigbe, and others. Are you saying that you indirectly calling all of these people irrelevant?
Donald Duke is a man I respect, but with the greatest respect, the second name you mentioned, please do not give any credence to him. Because if you remind me going back, I will tell you that that is one criminal occupant in the National Assembly that has almost desecrated the red chambers. And you can go back and find out what the Supreme Court did only last month. The Supreme Court has overruled itself in that judgment that kept that man there. It's just that our legal jurisprudence cannot be taken aback. If not today, by pronouncement, that man would have ceased to be there. He sits on a stolen mandate. And even though it's a small fry, we are using a sledgehammer to knock him, to push him out of that place by 25th of February. And I say this with authority. Okay. Let's not give credence to him. For Donald Duke, I respect him. But Donald Duke, I tell you, he will listen to the voice of reason. The people of the Southern Senatorial District have all taken a decision. And I can tell you, frankly, Governor Donald Duke will listen to a voice of reason. He's a very respected statesman. Governor Lee Alimoke is a respected statesman. He knows and is an architect of zoning. When the time comes, the issue will be about zoning. And both, in particular, Lee Alimoke, with the greatest respect, cannot go against his principle because he's a man of integrity. For Donald Duke, I tell you, he will listen to the voice of his people.
But then what gives you so much assurance? What gives you this confidence?
We are on ground. We are everywhere. If you can just ask people that came for the town hall meeting, we were driving through the streets of Calabar. We did not arrange the vehicles that were hailing at Siwaju. In fact, my incoming president made me so happy that day. He had to open the glass of his bus and was waving everybody in Calabar. That cannot be arranged. PDP people were driving. Labour Party were driving. But everybody knows that the spirit has told them that that is the next president of Nigeria. And the next day, the man I respect so much, and I bless him for coming into the race, His Excellency Governor Peter Obi, who is running the Labour Party, came into town. And it was like a graveyard. He saw it. And he returned back. But he knows that Cross River State is totally APC. But I have too much assurance. Don't even disturb yourself.
The PDP has never failed to win the presidential and governorship elections in your state. Are you not afraid that history might repeat itself?
I just told you that Cross River State used to be a traditional PDP state. But there was an armless political revolution that happened on the 20th day of May last year. And since then, they have been decimated, they have been annihilated, and they have been lobotomized.
Okay, then, even with the Labour Party presidential candidates, Peter Obi gaining more popularity in the southeast and the south-south?
No, he's not gaining any popularity in Cross River State. He might be gaining the southeast, he might be gaining another part of south-south, but not in Cross River State. But we like his incursion into the race, because what is helping us now is that those that used to be in the, you know, PDP in Cross River State is divided into the Port Harcourt boys and those Articles boys. So the Port Harcourt boys, I think they're about 33% The Articles boys are about 40-something%. There are the onlookers that have found their way into the Labour Party. And there are people now that have seen the handwriting very clear on the wall, that have all been moving in drone. As I speak with you, I'll be on my way to Yakon a day after tomorrow to welcome into the party the strongest political kingpin of the PDP, who truly was the choice for the Senate of PDP in Central Senatorial District, but was denied the ticket. Honorable Obol Godwin Etta. He will be joining the APC on Saturday, and I'll be there to receive him. Yakor is an ancient city that controls more than 80% votes. I mean, more than 30 to 40% votes that comes out of the Central Senatorial District. So you can see what we'll be harvesting on Saturday.
All right.
So they will be coming in droves. That is what I tell you, and these are the things that give me assurance. There is no rightly guided thinking perseverance that will go against the zoning principle that has kept us in amity, that has kept us in congenial political tolerance. And so for the avoidance of higgledy-piggledy and hocus-pocus, we have moved on to say we must do the right thing. And that right thing is that the southern senatorial part of Cross River State, it is their turn. They call it Emilopon. We call it in Efik language. If you're not an Efik person, ask. It is the turn of the South.
All right. Let me have you, assess Peter Obi's chances vis-a-vis your candidates.
Peter Obi is one man that sometimes, even if we have money, we support his people, because for everything he's doing, is reducing the votes that PDP would have gotten in any part. Don't forget, when you talk about Peter Obi making a wave in the Southeast, it's something we celebrate about, because APC has never had a very strong root in the Southeast until the likes of Hope Uzodinma and Debumahi, their excellencies, came on board. what we look up to there is to make sure that we can win those two states. In Enugu, in Abia, in Anambra, we all looked up to getting over 25%. That is what we are looking at from there. But in the South-South region, we are sure that apart from Akwa Ibom, because Delta is almost gone into our hands, Governor Kowa will lose Delta before 4 p.m. on that day. We are going to win nothing less than about 4 or 5 states in the South-South. And the remaining votes are the votes that P2B is going to take from the PDP. So it gives us so much joy.
All right. The presidential candidate of your party, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, was well received in Cross River State, where he fielded questions during a town hall meeting. How would you assess that particular outing?
In fact, let me tell you what my people told me. That they did not know that Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is this super intelligent, is this super energetic, is it friendly, lovely, an exceptional leader, particularly when he displayed that reconciliation effort and brought everybody to the table. And the sound way he answered questions. In fact, when they asked him how he was going to provide employment, he told them straight, electricity is the problem of this country. We will start with electricity so that the SMEs can be rejigged. And he keyed into what Governor Eden is doing in Cross River State. Don't forget, the theme for that town hall meeting was agro-industrialization. And so today, for a governor that just received a national award by Mr. President for SMEs and agro-industrialization and youth employment, you should know that Governor Ede is a celebrated leader. And that is what the incoming president came to Cross River State to identify with. His outing was one in town. It was fantastic. It was excellent. In fact, it was one of the best things that happened to us in Cross River State. And we are happy. We cannot wait to see him again on the 30th of January, where I will tell you, please beam us live. Let the whole world watch, so that it will save me the energy of coming to do this interview that a lot of people will not be clinging to. 30th January, keep a date with us. Even if we don't have money to pay for live coverage, please support us so that the world will see what Cross River State is made of. The last one was like the triumphant entry of Jesus Christ into Jerusalem. This one again will be like the crowning of the Jesus King. Asiwaju is the next president. Nothing can change it by the special grace of God. He's ordained, he's prepared, and he showed that capacity when he came. And we are so proud of him.
Okay, for the sake of emphasis, why do you see him, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, as better than the likes of Kwakwanso, Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, and others in the race for the presidency?
The best way to assess a man is through track record. Go and check the track record of everybody that is talking about taking us. And then match it with the performance of our president incoming. Kwakwanso is a man I love and I respect. He tried his best in Kano, but that is not compared to what Asiwaju did in Lagos. For Atiku, it does not come within the line of those I should compare because he has never been a chief executive. He was only a spare tire to Obasanjo, and all he can be remembered for is the level of traitorship and the level of administrative abuse of office, disloyalty, perfidy, treachery, jiggery-pokery, and political miankoko, of which I do not consider worthy to lead a country like Nigeria in the 22nd century. For P2B, I love and respect him. He's a good man, but I do not think this is his time. His time will surely come, but he's a good man.
But then, you know, Peter Obi enjoys a lot of support from Nigerian youths. Is your party not worried about that?
No, he's enjoying sympathy, not support. Sympathy does not have a place in political calculation.
When you say sympathy, okay.
Sympathy, when people sympathize, there is what we call in grammar lachrymos, melancholy. That is not support. When you are sympathizing with somebody, in a burial ground, you cry. That is sympathy. When you are supporting somebody, you come out with energy to give political support. I've been around in the system. I know the difference between sympathy and support. What P2B is enjoying is sympathy. And that sympathy would have found a better place if we had calculated earlier than now and aligned properly. It came too late. But it's like I said, his time will come. Age is still on his side. We'll prepare him for the future. He's a good man.
All right. Now tell Nigerians how your party's presidential candidate intends to end insecurity if elected president of Nigeria next year.
We have made the point very clear that we have tried the traditional method of fighting insurgency. Fighting insurgency has gone scientific. But again, we must go to the basic question of unemployment. A man who has remained a maker of men, a man who has shown that when he became governor of Lagos State, a one-time den of armed robbers. I recall having uncles in Lagos before 1999. There was daily, hourly robbery in Lagos. But do not forget, when Tinubu came on board in 1999, you remember the Rapid Response Squad? You saw the magic they did. He will bring the replication of that to the federal level. He will do all sorts that will end insurgency in this country. For me to discuss a strategy on that, I will need another full hour or day to sit with you and tell you the strategy. But I can assure you, be rest assured that insurgency will end under Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
No, Mr. Alphonsus, you can give us a bit of that strategy. Please give us a bit of that strategy.
I have just told you that what he did in Lagos in 1999, all you need is to go and get that compendium. Because for me to tell you that it is going to be presenting a full booklet on that. But that strategy under the Rapid Response Squad that gave that result is still with him. The manual is with him. He will use that and replicate in the country. Because whatever you see is armed carriage, and we'll be able to disseminate that.
All right. The economy will certainly be, a factor in this election. But PDP leaders are convinced that their candidate, Atiku Abubakar, will manage the economy better. They also argue that as vice president, he ran the economy creditably. I want you to respond to that.
Nobody should predict what happened under the PDP era. The little changes we saw, nobody should attribute that to Atiku Abubakar. He was only a spectator like I've said. President Olusegun Obasanjo came on board in 1999 and enjoyed global support. A country that was almost at the brink of dissolution. The international community came together to giving us support. They were able to give us debt relief. They were able to open the opportunities for us. But we couldn't go back to the state of the economy that was before 1999. But it did not go so bad. The global GSM network opened the doors for employment opportunities in this country. Obasanjo came with a political will to have changed this country. However, the likes of Atiku Abubakar, whom he handed over the economy into their hands, was actually the one that almost destroyed every part of this country. The privatization and commercialization proceeds. You recall how the issue of power has remained comatose up till this moment, with over $16 billion. Calculate what $16 billion today is, and you know the damage and Atiku Abubakar has done to this country. Is that the man we want to bring back to this country? The answer is no. For us, a man who was governor of Lagos State, who met an IGR at about 600 million and was able to take it to about 60 billion today, should rather be trusted, because the problem of Nigeria today is issue of revenue. And any man that can open the tap for revenue to flow like the water that comes from Kaiji Dam, should rather be trusted. And only one man, by my definition, by my assumption, by the presumption of Nigeria, which is completely rebuttable, stands out. And that is the incoming president, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
All right. Before we go, please tell us the strategy your party intends to embark on to win the governorship election in Cross River State and also the presidential election.
If you have been following why people call me the political evangelist, I came prepared. On the 16th day of October, when I took over the reign of leadership in the APC, I declared that we're going to embark on political evangelism. And our political evangelism was going to be anchored on the mantra of what I call plug, peace, love, unity, and growth of the party. From that day, I took the APC from a paltry registered number of about 300-something thousand persons to over 1 million as it stands today. And that is what we do. We have evangelized and created the polling unit management committee, where we have 15 persons deriving resources from government, strengthening the structures in the entire 3,281 polling units. We have appointees in almost every polling unit that move from door to door, talking to our people, telling them the achievement of Governor Yade, despite the dead body that was handed over by the PDP government. We keep on telling them what Cross River State would have been if not for a man like Governor Yade, and why everybody must follow him. So for us, Governor Yade is the commander-in-chief of the armless political revolutionary order that came on board on May 20th, 2021. And whatever he says is what we do. And all of us are his field commanders. And we are in the entire 3,281 polling units. And it is top to bottom. We call it 5/5. It is Asiwaju Kashim. It is our senatorial candidate. It's all our House of Reps. It's all our House of Assembly. It's our governorship and deputy governorship.
Mr. Alphonsus, you call yourself, you say you're a political evangelist. How then are the people of Cross River State following this evangelism?
If you Google and ask, I have commissioned almost everybody to become an evangelist. If you go to the Old Testament, you remember the movement and the evangelical mission of the 70 elders. In the New Testament, the 72 elders. That commissioning is what I have replicated in Cross River State. It is biblical. It is holy. It is politically a conscious movement that goes with the fear of God. And what we preach is peace, is love, is unity, and that's why everybody has embraced it. And that is one of the selling points our incoming president came to do day before yesterday that has remained the talking point in Cross River State. Everybody has embraced it. That is why APC today is a household name.
All right, Mr. Alphonsus, we do hope that all of this confidence translates to victory for your party in your state and the general election. Thank you very much for coming on Politics Tonight. I've been speaking with the chairman of the All Progressives Congress in Cross River State, Alphonsus Eba. Thank you very much for coming tonight.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.